Hello and welcome to another video from Armoury Antiques and Militaria and our YouTube channel. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So what have we got for you today? Well, clearly we've got some form of bayonet and we're going to go through it with you now. And some of the more experienced collectors will know what model this is and what country it's from. But for those of you that don't, we're going to explain. What we've got here is quite a rare bayonet. You don't often see these come up for sale, and especially in really nice original condition like this example here. So what we have is a Prussian model 1871 infantry bayonet. And these are quite impressive pieces, as you can see. Don't worry if you see me touching the blade, ladies and gentlemen, because I'll be cleaning it later on. So don't worry. What we have is a solid brass handle with a grip on one side and the retaining spring for it to be put onto a rifle. As you can see there, the spring rises and falls when I push the button. So solid brass, and we've got the tang of the bayonet that goes partially through the handle of brass, and we find that we have numerous inspection marks, and these are Prussian inspection marks on the back edge here, and we've got a grip design on one side, and on the other side you'll find it's plain, and more inspection marks and imperial marks here. So plain on one side, and with like an eagle's beak. If you've got an imagination, a lot of the Prussian and World War I German bayonets did have an eagle style to their bayonets, like an eagle's beak, and that became more profound and more detailed as he went into World War II and the Third Reich period. And you can see the transformation from this basically eagle-shaped pommel, and then later on into a fully fledged eagle pommel later on. So clearly this is a bayonet, so we've got a double S-shaped guard here and the hole here for the muzzle of the rifle. And as I've said, we've got numerous markings. Now on the cross guard here, we've got regimental markings across the cross guard, which is difficult to show you on camera, but it says 38, then it's R something, I can't read that character, then 1.2, and then other characters as well. Difficult to see on camera, but anyway, it's there. It also has a maker's mark on the ricasso of the bayonet, and this particular one is by Clement and Jung of Zollingen. Well-known maker, and we see this maker all the way through from pre-World War I, as we're talking about now, Prussian period, all the way through the World War I period, through to World War II as well. We see this maker making various items during those periods. You'll notice on the back of the blade here as well, we've got imperial marks and crowns, and also got a crown and inspection mark here with a date as well, in addition to the other markings. Now the blade itself, as you can see, is in really nice condition. We haven't cleaned it in any way, shape or form, but as I said, don't worry if you see me touching it, it will be cleaned later on, i.e. that means being oiled and cleaned, so none of the detritus or moisture from my fingers damages the blade. Anyway, a nice fullered blade as I take it along, you'll see, down to its point, and on the other side, again, there's no pitting on this particular example, there's only light staining. So really, really nice example when you consider its age. Now, some of you may notice on these bayonets, you'll find little indentations on the grips. Because you've got to remember, bayonets were used as tools, not only as weapons. And I imagine that these little indentations here is where it's been used to knock something in, whether that's a nail or a tent peg, something. And of course, brass, not being a particularly tough material, has got the little percussion marks in there where it's been used as a hammer, which I think adds to its character. It's nothing serious, and it all adds to the story of the bayonet. More inspection marks at the top here by the button I was talking about. So that's that particular bayonet, the Prussian model 1871 infantry bayonet. And what's nice about this particular example is it's complete with its original scabbard. Quite often what you'll find is with the German bayonets of this time, they have a long fixing part on the bayonet here to go through the frog. It's quite common with this particular type of bayonet. Nice brass fittings, as you can see. And then on the other side, we've got inspection marks and regimental marks as well, which is nice to see. The scabbard is leather and stitched along the back edge. And then it's finished, as you can see, with a brass end cap. Quite often the end caps are marked with little inspection marks, as this one is, but it's really nice to find one that's in nice original condition and one that hasn't been lost to time or severely damaged or rotted away. So this particular bayonet is available at Armoury Antiques and Militaria. We're very pleased to have it in the shop because it's a lovely example, beautifully marked, and one that certainly belongs in a collector's collection that appreciates really nice early Prussian made examples that are superb quality. Clement & Jung is a very good maker. We see a lot of, as I've said, other daggers made by them during World War II, such as Navy daggers and other daggers that were made during the period, the Third Reich period. But of course, this is not that period. This is, as I've said, a Prussian model 1871 infantry bayonet. Really nice example. Quite pleased to have it in the shop, as I've said. Always have a close look around the mounts, especially on the edges here, and have a good eye, because quite often you'll find inspection marks that you'll easily miss, not only on the leatherwork but also on the metal fittings. And in addition to that, when we talk about the bayonet itself, always look in different areas underneath the bayonet, for example, under the grip. Again, there are markings there which are easily missed and really nice to research and find a little bit more information about. So really have a good eye and look over these things carefully. Don't buy ones that are in terrible condition or missing their scabbards, because you'll never get your money back. Any bayonet without a scabbard is worth 50% less, and this is a mantra we tell people all the time. You know, if it's not got its scabbard, whether it's a sword or a bayonet, knock 50% off straight away. So when it comes to this type of bayonet, you need to make sure you buy it from the right source. These were copied. This is totally original, but we found that there was a lot of copies that came out of India and a lot of copies that were produced and retailed by a company that's now not in existence, called Worldwide Arms. So you need to be careful of these sorts of things, but that's why it's important to come to a professional antiques, arms and armour dealer, and people like us with a retail shop and a 5-star Google business rating on Google, which no other dealer has in the United Kingdom or indeed the world. And we produce 30 plus videos a month on YouTube so that people can learn and find out about what's original and what is not, and to look at real examples and things that they should be looking for. We pride ourselves in our reputation and indeed the objects we offer. That's why we have such a large following, and we're very different from the rest of people that trade or deal in antiques, arms and armour. You're very welcome to come down here to Armoury Antiques and Militaria, where you can look at this particular item, if indeed it's still available when you come down to see us. We have recently bought about 200 bayonets in a collection. Next week on Monday, I'm looking at a collection of 100 swords and bayonets, and then literally a week after that, I've got another 500 items in a collection that I'm viewing, which we will probably buy for the shop, depending on condition, originality, and the like. We have to have collectors' eyes, and our serious collectors have a very good eye and very good knowledge about what they collect and what they enjoy. So therefore, I have to be their eyes, and I have to make sure the items are, first of all, in very good condition. Secondly, they're original and not messed about with, and totally as the collector would like them. Then, of course, it's very easy to sell these items to our collectors because it's exactly what they want in their collection. And you need to be sure, and you need to have a good eye. You can buy rubbish all day long from various people, but it's buying the good stuff and finding the good examples that are honest and original that is the challenge. Auctions is another thing that I'd like to speak about briefly, and that is with auctions, I would highly recommend, and this is humble advice to you, that I think is solid advice, especially for new collectors, is never buy an item without physically examining it. You must look at items in the hand so that you can examine the condition, any faults or any issues that may exist, if it's in great condition, any provenance that's being alleged to go with an item, so you can test that out. Just be cautious, because we have so many people that come into our shop and indeed contact us with items they bought at auction blindly, or they've a bid on something and they've got something they think's original, and it turns out when they speak to us that when we look at it, we have to break the news to them that it's not original, or it has serious issues, especially around edged items, and indeed antique obsolete caliber guns, and indeed Japanese swords, original Japanese swords, of which we are highly specialised dealers in dealing in. Probably one of the best in the country, indeed. But we warn you just to be careful when you look at these things. Never buy something blind. There's lots of people that take risks, and you need to be careful when you're dealing with antiques, arms and armour. Always have it in your hands, always examine it and look at it carefully. Just a little bit of advice there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're aware, but just in case you do or are tempted to buy things without seeing them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. As I said, we produce 30 videos a month. Also, click the bell icon so you're informed of any videos that come out in the future. And we look forward to doing another video for you very, very soon. In the meantime, most importantly, stay safe, enjoy the hobby. We hope you find the items you're looking for. And my wife and I look forward to meeting you in our antique shop down here at Armoury Antiques and Militaria. Thank you for watching.